So I would encourage people to, always choose love over fear as well.
Mhm.
I've heard somewhere that the only two fears that we're born with are the fear of falling and the fear of noise.
Oh, yeah.
So all the other fears are just made up in our mind or based on our life and what we've gone through and all of that. So we should definitely always embrace love as opposed to fear.
And it happens when you live in the present moment, when you don't care about the unknown, so you don't care
Yeah.
about tomorrow or the minute after. You just take care not to fall,
That's
not to be in a very noisy place.
yes.
But when you are open-hearted in the present moment, you don't fear anymore.
Yes.
It completely changes your perception. It changes everything. You observe. You see things unfolding, but you're observing from love. I'm thankful for you to having you in the podcast with me.
Love that.
And I love that we both are dressed alike today.
Yeah, we're wearing black. Yeah, it's not a color, but I don't know why. It's one of my favorite, I guess, tint to wear.
Yes, yes. I just changed now.
From your PJs, right?
No. I never really, never. I wake up very early. I go swimming, and before
Oh, nice.
lockdown, no matter what, I'm always dressing for myself or whatever.
Good. Yeah. I always dress too, but sometimes it's more like in leggings or sweats because I'm going for a walk or something.
Mhm. So happy to have you here. Really, I feel you. I love your presence. I'm very grateful for you here. Really, thank you.
What a nice welcome. I truly appreciate it. And I feel your presence as well. And very excited about the opportunity to just share my mission with your audience and help more people.
Yes, I'm looking forward for sharing about you and what you do. Um, co-creation comes from love and uniqueness, and at the end, our purpose to be who we are and create what we love.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, so it what we do, what we create, it comes from who you are.
Yes. Yes. And I believe I've created something that really can impact people's life and help them, really be in alignment with themselves and discover their true purpose and that we are all unlimited human beings. So, that this is what I'm working towards to get people, that message and really help them tap into their full potential.
Yes, I love that. And it comes also because you have experienced it.
Yeah,
No? Yes?
I did actually. If it's okay, I'll share a bit about my
I love
Yeah.
we're here having a conversation.
Yeah. I you know, when I came out of when I finished university, I thought, success was, titles, achievements. So I started my corporate career and I worked for an amazing company. I mean, I started at a conference in Disney World in Florida. I thought I had the best job and it was an amazing culture, leaders focusing on employee engagement and all that stuff. But as is went through acquisitions and mergers and acquisition, then the company culture completely changed. And at the same time, I was moving up, ranks of the company. And at the end of my career, I was not only the head of marketing for the entire company in Canada, but I was also director of sales and marketing for another of their business divisions. So I had over 20 people reporting to me. I was managing budgets in 3 different countries. At the same time, I went through a divorce and I was a single mom with both daughters living with me, and one of them struggling with mental health. So at some point, I had to come to the realization that I was completely burnt out, and I came to that realization when I was trying to draft an email for work, and it took me about 25 minutes to just write 2 sentences. I couldn't make any links in my head. And yeah, so I completely burnt out, and then I had to stop working for a while. And then I made that brave decision to not go back to that environment, because leadership starts with self-love. And I said, if I want to lead by example, I can't be in such toxic environment anymore. So I stopped working, and I took the time to heal through, and we could talk more about that. I've read like over 100 books, listened to podcasts, but I think the thing that really helped me the most was meditation, and just focusing on the present moment, and focusing on creating my new future. But since then, like, the most amazing thing happened. I started my own business. I published a book in English and French. I started a podcast for the optical industry. I became a speaker, and I'm also now a purpose, power, and mindset coach as well. So I started, I completely reinvented myself. So I want people to know that, sometimes when you feel that there's no hope, or you feel there's nowhere to go, there's always a way. And it comes with alignment and self-love.
Yes, yes. Comes to self-love and alignment. Yes, truly. Looking inside.
Yes, so that was for me. I call that at the same time my awakening. Like, at the age of 47, now I'm 49, but I completely reinvented myself. And I woke up, and I stopped, measuring my success by the number of emails and the number of meetings I would achieve in the daytime. Now I measure my success with how aligned I am towards my mission, which is to help over 1 million people through my book platform, Love, Lead, Succeed. So what's a good day for me? Well, did I help people? Did I have meaningful conversations with my kids? Did I go for my walk, with my dog? So it's all about things that, I mean, we should all focus on to make this a better world, really.
Yes, yes, because when we are in our hearts, no, and we are present, like you mentioned before, we change the world
Yes.
through our beingness, nothing else, because our perception changes, our attitude changes, our beingness, it's who we are. Yes, we really project it outwards in everything we do when we are kind.
Yes. So alignment is really the key, and love yourself enough to say no sometimes, when you can't take on anything else. You just need to choose yourself first, and if you love yourself enough, the love for other people will shine as well.
Yes, that's so beautiful. And one thing I always say, well, we can speak about that, we can share it, we can be it, but it's for you to experience it.
Yes.
Because there are many that are in their minds, and they say, okay, but if you choose yourself first, you're just being egocentric, it's selfish. And you say, no, on the contrary, it's totally different, because when you love yourself and you choose yourself, you choose everyone else.
That is so true. Oneness, right?
Oneness. It projects outwards directly. It's from the inside out, and it's connected with everyone. It's not the selfishness of the mind, of the ego. It's the caring for yourself and everyone else, because we are connected. Now, when you come here, you go out from there.
Absolutely. Love that. Love it. This is I mean my I feel so grateful that I went through this awakening because you know the life I had before was just so stuck in that I call it the programming, this autopilot, you wake up, you brush your teeth, you do the same thing over and over again without realizing, that you're doing this. So 95% of what you do on a daily basis, it's just a repetitive set of behaviors. So when you start tapping into, well, first waking up and then realizing the power of your subconscious mind and the power of your mind, you just start different habits and to really, well, first of all, I would say train your subconscious. But it's important to quiet down and not listen to that noise in our head because that noise is not very kind for the most part. So if it's not very kind, it's best to try to quiet it down and start thinking with intention about what you want that noise to be about.
Hmm. So that's how you teach it. It's how you teach it on to quiet the mind, the thoughts, and everything is to really go in through meditation or
Yeah.
tell someone that it's so in their mind as we have been, no? Yeah, in
Well,
debate in this running.
absolutely. The best way to quiet down your mind for me, and that's been a game changer, is the power of meditation. So I don't well, some people say you should not meditate in your bed because you're going to fall back asleep, but I don't get out of bed in the morning before I have a 30 to 40-minute meditation. And my meditation is to quiet down my mind, but it's really to focus you know, about what I want in my day, in my life. So I focus on my big goals. So I shared earlier, I wanted to help 1 million people through my book method. Well, every morning before I get out of bed, I spend time thinking about that. And I visualize people, like all the happy people and people that I feel, self-aligned. So I see them one by one in my head. So meditation is not only sometimes about quiet, getting quiet. It's really like starting to feel in alignment with your future. So I would say that's one of the way I quiet down my mind. Another way that I use when, especially when I was really at the bottom, I would say, of my burnout and really depressed, is that I started um, only allowing myself to think about like 3 or 4 sentences. I would say, "I'm sorry, I love you, please forgive me, thank you." So and that's the only words I would allow to go through my mind. But when you think about it, can you imagine how better the world would be if everyone would be thinking about these four little sentences or words? Like, I don't think there'd be as much war and crimes in the world because people would just be thinking, about beautiful things and they would just let their ego aside.
Yes.
So that's another way that I quiet down my mind. And I would say the third way is really gratitude. The power of gratitude is incredible. Is the ultimate state of receivership. But I start my day after I've done my meditation. I always, dress up, go for a walk with my dog, but I call it a gratitude walk. So I go through the 50 things that I'm the most grateful for. And most days it's, they're all the same things. And so I'm like grateful for my family, grateful for, for my book. I'm grateful for this. I'm grateful. And it's amazing. And once I'm done doing this gratefulness, I walk and sometimes I just say thank you at every step. And it sounds funny, or I don't know, maybe some people crazy, but um for me it just makes me happy. Sometimes I catch myself smiling because I'm grateful just to be able to walk, because some people can't, right?
Yeah.
And at night I have this gratitude rock on my side table, and I don't go through 50 things because sometimes I'm too tired. But I at least I say thank you for three things that happened in the daytime, whatever it is, whether I had like this amazing, powerful conversation with one of my daughter, or I was able to help someone. So I go through these things, and I think gratitude is a good way to quiet down your mind, but it's a good way to feel in alignment.
Yes. Yes. Gratitude opens your heart and brings you to
Yes.
the moment. Oh,
Yeah,
brings
'cause
you to the moment.
people take things for granted, and it's unbelievable. Every day 150,000 people die. I think the first thing we should all do when we wake up in the morning is thank you. I'm alive. I truly believe gratitude is the key. It comes back a lot in my book, in almost every chapter.
Yes, yes. Yeah, it brings you here to the moment. And like you were saying, no, I read somewhere, I don't remember, that every night we die, and when we wake up, it's well, being grateful for another day.
Yeah. Well, I'd love to learn more about this, like looking at your sleep as you're dying. It's a new day every day.
A new day.
So just be grateful.
Yes, yes. And we know that, no, gratefulness really, when you are grateful, it's like you were saying before, you're walking around with your dog and you are grateful for all the 50 things. And at the end, you're smiling. Yes, because it brings you into the inside of who you are and with everything you have around. And it brings you to the moment. So, yes, it aligns you. And
Yes.
it's a way to not to think of everything you have to do, of all the day that you haven't. But no, it's really to be here and grateful for everything you have around, for everything what you are, and for everything you're growing. So really centering yourself into the beingness.
Yeah, I would encourage everyone to try gratitude as an alignment practice, and as you said, as a way too of quiet down, your mind, because you can be, as you said, you can be thinking about anything else while you're thinking about all the things you're grateful for, because it's, at the end of the day, it's so beautiful that yeah, and it brings you back to positive thinking, as opposed to thinking about bad things, which could eventually have an impact on your future, because with what you think about, you often bring into your life, right? So
And also the meditation you said at the beginning, no, when you wake up that you are in your bed, it's the intention, no, of the day. It's you're placing an intention, because intention is different than expectation.
yes,
Huh?
absolutely. Yeah, so you should, I would recommend for people to always start your day with intention. And if people are not into meditation, then it could just be, while you're brushing your hair or your teeth, just thinking about, what you're, I think everybody should think about their purpose in life and their mission. But if we don't want to make it that big, then you can have, like I always have goals, not daily goals, I would say, but maybe yearly goals. So what am I trying to achieve this year? So just think about those, and visualize yourself achieving them. And I can guarantee that you have better chances of achieving them if you see yourself being successful to begin with.
Yeah, that's the power of imagination, no?
Yes, yes, we create our own reality. I have a full chapter in my book about
Mhm.
this, which is focusing more on the power of the mind and the law of attraction. It doesn't get too woo woo, but it just talks about a lot of things that I know could help people as well.
And talking about your book, and you mentioned the method,
Yes.
infinite method. That's your mission. So you really, when someone contacts you, you go through with you go with them through your book, or what do you do?
Well, I have a 6 months coaching program.
Mhm.
So it has I guess month by month we focus on different things, but it's about people well, it's about people rising but tapping into their full purpose and power. So I help and I focus more on women, but I could help men too. But I my mission is to help women rise and I don't want to call it burnout because I like to focus on positive words, but
Mhm.
I like to help women rise and tap into their full potential. So helping them to say no and rediscover their purpose. So that's what I am. I'm a mindset purpose power coach.
Mhm.
Um, so I have this full method that's based on some of the content of my book, not the entire book, because it has 15 chapters. But to really rediscover yourself, and it's just that it becomes a way of life. The Love Lead Succeed method, and it's starting with loving yourself. But then I have so many tips that I can share with people that I work with on how to improve their life. But my program, my coaching method is not, it's not like a I would say like a book or set in stone. I just customize the program for each individual that I work with, because we all have different struggles and things we're trying to improve. So that coaching program is very customized based on each person that I'm working with.
Yeah, there's no one size fits all,
No, no.
especially when we went through that ourselves. We know
Yes,
that.
so that's why I feel I feel like that I'm that I can help so many people just because of my own experience. So
Mhm.
I'm I'm actually really excited to have an impact and make this a better world. Uh, because we all know what's going on in the world, and I think if we could all focus on whether, like, I have a big goal when I say I want to positively impact the life of 1 million people or over 1 million people. But if we could just focus on helping one new person every day, sometimes it's just smaller act of kindness, like whether it's at the grocery store, like seeing a, I don't know, an older person that can't read, like helping that person find what she's looking for. But it doesn't need to be, you don't need to become a life coach or an author or a speaker. I think if we could all focus on small acts of kindness, like this world would become, so much better.
Yes. Yes, it's the being in the present moment, enjoying whoever and whatever you have around, and be with an open heart. So
Yes.
that's how you impact now. That's how you smile to others. That's how you enjoy
Yes.
life. That's how you live. And that's how you positively impact.
Absolutely. And I'm loving your energy. I feel a lot of
Thank you.
I feel a lot of kindness and yeah, a lot of positive thing in your energy.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I'm in my heart. I'm here with you, and I'm just flowing with you, co-creating with you, but from my heart, not from my mind.
Oh, that's amazing. I love that.
And the present. So yes. That's what you might be feeling the heart.
Yeah, I think I can definitely feel the heart here. Yes.
And I see yours. I see yours. I feel you. Since you came in, I felt you. A beautiful,
Oh, wow.
really, really, very, very. I feel my heart is expanded, and I really feel my heart, and the connection with you. You have a very beautiful energy as well, and
No, thank you.
yes, and yeah, with the beauty of serving others, I really can be felt, and I appreciate it a lot.
Thank you. I mean, it's what we should all do, right? Sometimes, because my book was originally supposed to be a business book, but then I evolved it in something so much bigger that it's a self-improvement book. But I talk a lot about leadership in there. And, at the end of my career, I had one of my leaders that was very, she was, I would call her, and I don't like to judge people or call people, but very much so like a bully. And in my book, I talk a lot about leadership, and leadership doesn't just apply to business, it applies to life. So, how do you want to show up as a leader in life? And it's about it's about serving others. And if you have a team reporting to you, but you don't need to have a team reporting to you, uh, so how do you lead them forward? Well, it's about serving them. It's not about power. So I talk a lot about that, and I think people could become better, stronger leader in their own life just by practicing this. How can I serve others today?
Yes.
And that becomes very powerful. Uh, because our ego is a very it's not a good thing, right? It can be very dangerous. So I would encourage people to always choose love over fear as well.
Yes.
Yes.
Fear closes our heart.
Yes. I've heard somewhere that the only two fears that we're born with are the fear of falling and the fear of noise.
Uh,
So all the other fears are just made up in our mind or based on our like life and what we've gone through and all of that. So we should definitely always embrace love as opposed to fear.
yes, yes. And it happens when you live in the present moment, when you don't care about the unknown, so you don't care
Yeah.
about tomorrow or the minute after.
Mhm.
You just take care not to fall,
Yes.
not to be in a very noisy place.
Yes.
But when you are open-hearted in the present moment, you don't fear anymore.
Yes.
It completely changes your perception. It changes everything. You observe, you see things unfolding, but you're observing from love,
Absolutely. Yeah.
and that's so beautiful and so liberating.
Yes. I mean, we are love, right?
Yeah.
So might as well just embrace it everywhere we can.
Yes. Yes. Well, Isabel, I'm really, really thankful for having you here with me.
Oh, me too. So grateful for having this opportunity to have this important discussion with you. And I hope really that your audience can feel my message, and I hope it can help them as well.
It will, because you're talking from the heart.
Ah,
That impacts.
you're beautiful. Thank
No, not true. You know it or not know it, or you want it or not want it, but when you are sharing from your heart, plants a seed.
Yes.
And that's let's say, one of the purpose of the Leadership Circle podcast is planting seeds.
Yes, absolutely.
through people like you.
Oh,
Just like you. And you mentioned very quickly, you mentioned at the beginning also, it's being the example. A leader is also being the example of what you want to see.
yes.
And you are being the example of who you want to see. And I am very grateful for that. Thank you.
Thank you. And I hope, as I said, everyone can be amazing by loving and then others, and then you'll become the best leader you can be.
So it is. Love you very much. Thank you so much, Isabel.
Love you too, right back at.
Thank you.